proud of all the work that you're doing, working on this fairy tale, and we're actually getting towards the end of this first fairy tale, so you should feel really excited about the work that you've been doing and the just kind of enjoying, hopefully, writing an adapted fairy tale. So today I have something pretty important to talk to you about that you might not have thought about until this moment, right? And I want you to think for a second, have you ever been in this situation where maybe you and your brother are playing with something and you're pulling it away from your brother and you pull it back and it kind of hits you in the face or something? Has that ever happened to you? And then your mom or dad or grandma or whoever's with you said, oh, that'll teach you never to do that again, right? Well, the reason why I bring up this little silly story is because a lot of times a fairy tale teaches a lesson, right? So if you think about like Little Red Riding Hood, that some of you might be working on, the lesson in that story a lot of people think is don't talk to strangers, right? Like, look, you'll get in trouble if you talk to strangers. And the lesson in maybe Three Billy Goats Gruff is that if we work together, we can solve our problem, right? Like the Billy Goats go across, they kind of trick the troll, right? So just something to think about today that you might want to put into your story in some way is how could I maybe teach a lesson through this fairy tale that I'm drafting? And it might be similar to the one in the original fairy tale, and so you might want to think about how can I maybe weave that into my story and help. And that might even be, I've talked to you a lot about the endings, that might be a great place for you to kind of put in, and you can say something like your character learned to, and you can kind of even just explain what that was at the very end of your story, or even try to leave little hints of it as we go along throughout the piece, right? So part of an adaptation is thinking about, is there a lesson? Is it the same as the one that we did from the original fairy tale, or is it maybe you've changed a little bit? Like mine is maybe more about cooperation, since they kind of work together to solve the problem. So maybe my lesson in my adapted fairy tale of Cinderella is really about teaching each other to work together, that we can find solutions to our problems. So today's mini lesson is not a have to. I don't want you to think about like you have to put in a lesson, but if you're feeling up for the challenge and you feel like, I really want to teach my readers a lesson through this story, then think about how you can kind of put that in. It's just another way we can take our stories and make them that much better. And I tell my class all the time, every day we're trying to get one bit better. And this is one way that you can try to do that today. So if it's hard for you, don't feel bad, and you can't really work in the lesson, that's okay. But if you've got a lesson in your mind and you can talk with your family and friends about that, then maybe think about how you can teach a lesson through your adapted fairy tale. Okay, take care. Happy writing.